The guild event is old school HVH. It's simple, satisfying, and still one of the best reasons to be in a guild. But here's the problem. People join dead guilds. No one's running tickets, nobody's chatting, and suddenly, you're the only one showing up for a guild event. In an active guild though, the guild event is just straight up free loot. There's ultimate jewels, hero orbs, the paladin, and dust for days. Just have to run your tickets and keep the momentum going. So step 1 is join an active guild. One where 20 out of 20 people are actually doing guild tickets and having fun while they're doing it. After level 12 or 13 at a guild level, all the rewards are basically the same. So it's less about getting into a really high guild and more about getting into an active guild. In this guide, I'll break down how the guild event works, the top heroes, the best gear, and the best jewels for getting the most guild points, and how to spend your guild tokens in the guild exchange shop. And hint, it's not potions. So grab your tickets, we're going into the guild event. The guild event is a 6 out of 7 day weekly event that requires you to use a ticket each day in order to fight the Horde. You work together as a guild to get as many points as you can. The more points you get, the more guild tokens you get at the end of the week, and you use those tokens in the guild exchange for a very solid set of rewards. You can level up your guild as a group if you hit a certain maximum number of guild points in a given week, and you level a guild up all the way to level 16. For each additional guild level, you earn additional tokens at the end of the week based on how many points your guild gets as a whole. So again, finding a guild that's active with a lot of people running is the most important part. You only get one ticket each day for free, so you have to use it, otherwise it'll cost you 100 gems to make up for lost time. If you're all the way up to VIP level 9, you get 2 guild tickets a day. But it's really just a matter of finding a guild where everybody's running it. As long as you do your part and contribute to the guild, you'll net out to a substantial number of guild tokens. But I know from personal experience, it's really frustrating when you're the only one or one of the very few people that actually runs the guild event, and only you doing the runs won't net out to enough tokens to make a difference. In terms of the actual guild run, it comes down to 2 parts. The first 2 minutes and 45 seconds are just a straight onslaught of a ton of Horde. However, they're easy to deal with. But at the 2:45 mark, only elites spawn, and they're immune to instant kill and have a ton more health, so they're much more difficult to deal with. Early in the game, you probably won't be able to clear all of the guild event. There's a total of 30,000 Horde in any given run. Try and mix and match your builds to get as close to 30,000 as possible. In my experience, I've never been able to get past 2,997, and the only way to get past that 30,000 mark is via jewels, gear, and the VIP level 9. But of course, there are a certain set of heroes that will let you get closer to that cap. The best heroes for the guild event are the ones that you would expect. You're looking for max damage ranged heroes. Early in the game, look for something like Pirate Queen and use her instant kill ability to clear out most of the Horde, at least for the first 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Or you can give Knight a try and build a little bit more defensive. He'll be able to live longer, but if you're not killing off those elites in the second half, you might actually net more points with someone like Pirate Queen. I personally really like Assassin and Bunny for this event, as they do a massive amount of range damage. Even if they can't survive the whole thing early in the game, they still kill off enough Horde in the first phase and enough in the second phase to beat heroes like Knight. All the other good heroes for this event are the S+ damage heroes, with range again being better than melee. So you're looking at things like Artificer or Clockwork Mage, Oracle, and then maybe Monk with the Forge or Astral Mage, and like I mentioned earlier, Pirate Queen, Assassin, and Bunny. But you should be using whatever your highest range damage hero is at the time. So now let's talk about the gear you put on to maximize your guild points, and again, guild points is key. For most players, most of the time, you're going to use your max DPS set. That is Rogue Helmet, Rogue Chest, Rogue Gloves, and Rogue Amulet, with Ranger Boots, and then because instant kill is enabled for the first half at least, you can think about running Rogue Ring. But Wizard Ring is also fine because you're going to be building Ice Wand a lot of the time, and it helps amp Ice Wand's damage. Once you hit Legendary and Ascendant gear and are in mid to late game, then the guild event is more of a farming event, and your gear doesn't matter all that much. I, for example, run a bunch of noble pieces just for the extra key chance, and still get towards the cap of like over 29,000. Another possible gear set early in the game is building a flagpole build around Knight. With this build, you can live longer into the second half of the guild event. However, your points are based on how many Horde you actually clear. And so if Knight is living longer but not actually clearing any of the Horde, then you might net out to fewer guild points, and so you have to find a balance. But for this build, you'll build mostly knight gear, with maybe a rogue amulet and rogue gloves for the extra damage. Again, you have the ability to run one a day, so mix and match and test to see which one nets you the most guild points. I did mention earlier that you can boost your guild points via gear, and that comes from noble heroic gloves. Those give you an extra bonus to guild points, and so those are for really late game heroes, but know that it exists. I'll really quickly now go through the jewels to match with your gear. For jewels, you're just looking to maximize your damage. And so you're looking for something like ultimate duration, ultimate charge, vulnerability, and then pushing cooldown to 60 for most heroes. There are some fun exceptions, and you can look at my guides for individual heroes to figure out their specific best build. But much like jewels, for pets, you're also just looking to maximize your damage. So for pets, I look for my max damage pets. That's usually your highest rarity pet, with your next two highest rarity pets as your passives. There is no gimmick in guild runs, and so running something like double snails for extra HP won't really do you all that much. I have a detailed guide on the best pets and the best passive pets in just separate videos, and you can go check those out if you're trying to figure out your optimal pet setup. But know that the highest rarity pet in each slot is typically your best bet. Now that we're all prepped and ready to go fight the Horde, let's figure out the best weapons we can use in the middle of the run. For weapons, you're looking for the best set of standard max DPS ranged weapons. So that typically involves bomb, fire orbs, chain lightning, and then either crossbow or ice wand. I personally recommend ice wand, along with grabbing life tome, especially early in the game. You're gonna have to deal with these elites that have way more health than you're used to. To give yourself more time, evolving ice wand into frost nova can really help you survive longer and get more guild points. There's a special case here where you don't want to run evolved hammers. Because of the additional pushback, they'll actually push Horde off the map and prevent you from clearing them out and getting as many guild points as you could. So don't use hammers and don't use evolved hammers. If you have any special weapons, the best special weapons for this are anything that are ranged or that are forged up to a high level. So Mighty Boar is really good, Pitchfork can be really good, the Dagger of Dawn, anything that does ranged damage. On the tome side, you're looking to amplify up your ranged weapons. So you're looking at Duplicator Tome, Damage Tome, Cooldown Tome, Area Tome, and then I run Life Tome if I run Ice Wand. But again, mix and match to see what works for you. The other option is to run that more defensive build I was telling you about around the night. In that case, and this is for early game players, you want to run Dragon's Breath with Divine Aura, Fire Orbs, and Bombs. And then you mix that with Cooldown Tome, Duplicator Tome, Area Tome, Regeneration Tome, and Life Tome. And so you're trying to find a balance there between maximizing your DPS and just surviving for a really long time. I have gotten a lot of guild points and survived to the end of the whole thing using this build with Knight early in the game. And now that you're maximizing the number of guild points that you're getting, let's see how we can spend them in the guild exchange. Know off the bat that like everything else in Heroes vs Hordes, the guild shop is a grind. It's going to take you a while to get through all of the great rewards that they have in the shop. However, I would spend my first set of guild tokens on the ultimate charge and ultimate duration jewels. Even at levels 1, 2, and 3, these will add a significant boost to your DPS. And the nice thing about buying jewels in the guild shop is that they're cost effective. If you buy one level 1 jewel, it'll merge with another one to get to level 2. And level 2 costs the same as 2 level 1s. So it's always cost efficient to buy a jewel in the guild shop. And you're never going to lose any guild points by merging them together, which is nice. After my first couple runs, I had my ultimate charge and ultimate duration up to maybe like level 3, and at that point I switched over to saving up for Paladin. But if you need hero orbs given the recent changes, you can also invest some early runs into hero orbs to level up your heroes and help you get you more guild points in the future. However, know that Paladin is a very good early to mid game hero, and while he can take a lot of tokens, especially if you're not in a high level guild, he is worth saving up for. After I bought Paladin, I went back and just focused relentlessly on ultimate duration and ultimate charge duels up to around a level 8. At level 8, that's about where most people stop. Then I would suggest investing in Holy Hammer Forge tokens to get your Paladin up to Forge level 3 if you haven't yet. His global buff is a multiplier to damage, and that's pretty strong across all of your heroes. And lastly, after you've invested all of that in yourself, you can go back and buy a guild jewel, which will help you earn more guild points and runs. And lately, after you're about a year into the game, you're going to start tossing all of your guild tokens into either hero orbs or into dust. It used to be just a pure dust buy, But with the changes in 3.4.0, it might make more sense to buy hero orbs to gain access to those globals instead of just trying to level up your jewel set. Just whatever you do, don't buy scrolls or potions. Those are a complete waste of guild tokens. And so, to sum up, my general hierarchy and rule of thumb for buying things in the guild shop is ultimate charge and ultimate duration up to about level 3. Then go to paladin before coming back and leveling up those 2 jewels up to like level 8, which is going to take you a long while. After that, you move over to maybe holy hammer or to getting your first guild jewel, before essentially investing all of your tokens into dust and hero orbs. And so that's my take on the guild event. This used to be a really big deal and actually how you'd measure hero power. Whoever could get the most points in guild event was the better hero. And that's no longer really the case, but is this still the kind of event that you want to do every day for the long-term grind in the game? The key is just to find an active guild, because that makes this game so much more fun and turns the guild event into essentially free loot. And I'm Coles, a high-level HVH player. You can read more about the guild event on my website, hvhlounge.com. Feel free to ask me questions there, on Reddit, or on Discord. If you want priority answers, you can sign up for my Patreon and become an executive producer, like Cake Invictus, who's the executive producer of this video. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe. And remember, always do your adventures!